Welcome to the Pindown, your Detroit Pistons podcast. I'm Wes Davenport from Motor City Hoops and Detroit Bad Boys.
And I am Robbie covering Michigan State for the Only Colors, and of course, the Pistons for Detroit Bad Boys. I feel like Scott Hansen right now, like I'm hosting NFL Red Zone with our quad box.
All the boxes,
Not Chris Hansen, Scott Hansen. I know that's who Harry's thinking of right now. We have the guys from the Order of the Blazing Horse here, the only Pistons podcast with elite production value that is also giving away a Pistons jersey still, correct? That's still trying to reach 313 subscribers, so be sure to go subscribe and throw your name in there for a Pistons jersey. Harry, Mickey, thank you for joining us today. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thank you so much for having us. It's a treat. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for inviting us. And I 100% thought you were talking about Chris Hansen.
I knew it instantly. What? Yeah. I had to Google his name beforehand to make sure I got it right. But as soon as I just knew that's who you went to.
Got to be careful with your Hansens, yeah.
Yes.
If anyone's stream awkwardly cuts out right now, that'd be real bad. We'll just put it
Take a seat over here.
Exactly. What were you doing here exactly?
Yeah. Please ignore my toys.
Since you got that giveaway going, can you tell everyone how they can get involved? That sounds awesome. I mean, I know I'd love another jersey, so I'm sure all our listeners would too.
Super easy. Okay, all you got to follow is these simple rules. You go to our YouTube channel, Order of the Blazing Horse. Not a lot of competition for that name. We're the only Orders of the Blazing Horse out there. I think you should find us. It's Pistons related. You go to the live section. You find the 100th episode. Very easy to find that because it says 100th episode jersey giveaway. Hard to miss. Also, if you go to the channel, it'll tell you where to go in that whole direction. When you get there, you subscribe to Order the Blazing Horse. You go down to the comments of that 100th video and you put whoever recruited me to the order. It could be Wes, it could be Robbie, it could be me and Mickey, it could be one of your friends. So you put them, they recruited me to the order in the comments. That gets you an entry into the raffle. Or if you recruit somebody, have them make sure to mention you. Like if your handle is, let's say, at Robbie Bobby Battle Buckets. At Robbie Bobby Battle Buckets recruited me to the order. That gets Robbie, that's your YouTube name, right?
Yep, Robbie Bobby Battle Buckets.
Yeah. That's how you get him. That gets him one as well. So every person you recruit gets you one entry every time. Every new person who subscribes, they get an entry. No bots. Am I missing anything, Mickey?
No, absolutely. Any jersey of your choice. You want Saban Lee, we'll get you Saban Lee. You want Maxton Key. Yeah, whoever your guy is, as long as it's on the 313 website, we got you. Like Harry said, the entries stop when we reach 313. So yeah, if you recruit enough people, you could get as many entries as it takes. So exciting stuff. Someone's going to win a jersey. It's not going to be me. Someone is.
What's going to happen first? Is someone going to win the jersey, or is the Kawhi Leonard verdict going to happen? One of those two things is going to happen in the near future. Jersey, yeah.
I'll go out on a limb there. I'll just say it's going to be the jersey. I feel pretty safe. But, we did have a little bit, just like the teeniest little bit of Pistons news come out this week. The schedule did drop, which I'll be honest with you guys. We've got a voicemail here from our guy, a fellow. We're going to play that. He's asking about the schedule. I'm probably just going to have to bow out because I just struggle. I can't find any talking points at all from a game that's going to happen 7 months from now that we don't know who's healthy for. So this is not for me. But a lot of people like it. So let's talk about a little bit of the schedule. And as I mentioned, our good friend of the show, a fella, is going to get us started off on it.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's a fella from the DBB comments. Question for you. The schedule is out probably around this time, and I wanted to know what you all think are the superlatives of the schedule. Most exciting game of the season for you. When are we going to get a breakout game from a bench player? What's mostly likely for that to happen and when? All kinds of stuff. Let me know. See you on the pod.
Yeah, a fellow was so excited to get this question in that he actually called before the schedule dropped so that he could get his voicemail and we could start talking about it. So you guys, let's just, most exciting game of the season for you when the schedule drops. You could talk about the honorary Malachi Flynn game, right? Who's going to be the next random guy to drop 50? We'll just start, Harry, we'll just start with you. What are you looking forward to most here when that schedule dropped?
Easy answer, January 31st. 2027 at home against the Sacramento Kings. I think that's going to be a banger. It's going to be the game I've got my eyes on.
Game of the year.
Yeah, not just because I'm a secret beam boy. I actually have no interest in that game. Tickets will be good. Is my guess. I am looking forward to the senior citizen special home opener game at 3:00, being able to watch that and still be able to let my animals out and stuff against a good opponent, an opponent that was the second team in the East, seeing how they work with Mitchell Robinson on that team, with Paul George on that team. Just seeing how that dynamic plays out, seeing what Jason Tatum looks like, and seeing if all this investment in the Pistons' continuity and youth development works out as much as they plan to. So I'm going to take an easy one, just say the opening late afternoon game, 3 p.m. Tuesday.
What about you, Mickey?
Yeah, not to piggyback off that answer, as Michael Dompierre pointed out, I think the first 4 games especially are a real gauntlet. We got Celtics, Heat, Sixers, Knicks. And we've been known to get a little homery with it on our podcast. I've been saying it's a Homer Summer, Odysseys in theaters. But I actually think the Pistons could go 4-0 in that stretch, which is confident stuff. But I think the Celtics and the Knicks got worse, personally, and I think the Heat and the Sixers are still going to be figuring out chemistry. So I think that's going to be a fun gauntlet to kick things off, and I think it gives the Pistons an opportunity to make a statement and say, I know a lot of the mainstream sports sites have us playing team or maybe a playoff team, but I think that's where they can really show out. What about you guys?
The only thing that I looked at in terms of the schedule was to see when they play in Memphis, because I live in Nashville and I want to be able to go see a game. They play late in April, so it was like game 77 or something like that. I saw the first 4 games and I'm all for it. I could care less of, or couldn't care less of how that's how the schedule starts. Give me 10 tough opponents in a row. All the teams have to play everybody every year, and we're lucky that the Pistons are not on our schedule. So I'm on board with what our schedule looks like. I don't care,
Yeah, and Harry, sorry, I'll second you on that first game, because I know it's weird that it's at 3, but look, guys, the Pistons have the very first game on the NBA calendar, and no one else is playing at the same time. If you're an NBA fan, you are tuning in to the Detroit Pistons at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's pretty cool. I honestly, that doesn't happen in the NBA all that often. So I am excited for that one. I think that's just kind of a fun little honor that they're going to get to do. They stole the first game from the NBA champion Knicks, which is funky. It's just, that's the 5th time in a row actually that they've beaten the Knicks, right? Because they beat them 4 times last year. Now they beat them to this. Yes. But I thought that a fella had a fun follow-up to this, and this one I'm really interested.
Before we get into that, can I toss one more in there? Because I was just perusing it. The November 17th game against San Antonio, because I want to see Jalen Duren going against Victor Wembanyama, who they're getting compared contract-wise. Jalen Duren, I'm just going to assume he's going to be on this team. I think it'd be silly that he wouldn't be on this team at this point.
Correct. Yeah.
But I want him to come in with this mentality that he's that dude, and he knows he's that dude. And we saw when they played San Antonio last year that he kind of had success against Wemby by being physical. So I wanted to see him at the start of the season take it at Wemby, take it at the Defensive Player of the Year, and prove that he's worth more than what money he's going to be getting in this upcoming contract. That's what I'd like to see.
I love that, and that transitions perfectly into this next voicemail, again, from our guy, Afella.
What's up? It's a fella from the DBB comments. I got another one that you can just get in when you can fit in. What do you think will be the first highlight play of the season? All right. See y'all on the pod.
All right, so why I think this is a perfect little transition there, Harry, is because when you just say highlight, it's like now anything can kind of go viral. I'm thinking highlight like Sports Center top 10. What's the first one for you guys that you think is going to really start making the rounds for the Detroit Pistons? Is it a Jalen Duren poster on Victor Wembanyama? There's the question.
If we're going to start in that same order again, I mean, I think that's got all the potential in the world because, of course, that will happen. I'm going to go back to the same game I mentioned before, though. This is a shot in the dark, but I would love to see it. I would love to believe that Ron Holland's been working on his handle in the offseason, trying to get a little bit friskier with that ball so he can get to the basket. And I want to see him double up what Asar Thompson did that was shown on social media earlier this week, crossing over Jason Tatum. I would love to see Ron Holland do the same thing, get him spinning the other way. So now we got back-to-back guys who can't handle, guys who can't shoot, shaking and baking Jason Tatum. I would love to make that the highlight of the beginning of the year.
I think it could be. I love that answer on our pod. Harry was thinking that the opening play was going to be a K to Duren lob, but that's not. Those are dime a dozen now. Sports Center's sick of playing those. I think it's going to be John Collins related. I think that there's going to be a real image rehabilitation going on as far as John Collins goes. I'm clinging to that clip of Cade saying that he long wanted to play with John Collins, always admired his game. I think that we're going to get a John Collins slam on LeBron. I think 40-plus-year-old LeBron, he's going to catch him sleeping. And I think he's going to yam on him, and I think he's going to make the king drop his crown. So that's my take. Look out for that Sixers game. I think Cade's going to be feeding John Collins quite a bit, and I think he's going to set him up for success.
I hope so. I'm hype for John Collins. I'm excited about his fit and what he can do on this team. Do you guys remember a couple years ago? I think it maybe was JD's rookie year, Jaden Ivey's sophomore year, and it was the start of Summer League. In the very first game that both of them got to play in together, they drew up like this handoff to Ivey, and then Ivey went in, and Duren came, and they threw the lob to Duren, and it maybe is a cheap answer, but with Duren and all of his contract stuff that's going on this weekend, I would love for them to start game one with a lob to Duren where he just puts his elbow in the rim and he's like, I'm back. I got paid. I'm excited to be here. And I just love that they started that Summer League game off that way a couple of years ago. And so I want to do the same thing game one for JD.
He breaks the backboard. He's like, I'll pay for that shit. Pardon my French.
I can afford it now. I can afford it.
That'd be impressive. These backboard, if he broke it after all the fixes from the Shaq days, that'd be pretty great. Can I suggest maybe Cade Cunningham put someone on there behind? I think that I could see that happening very early on, and that starting to make the rounds. But if I wanted an underdog one, I mean, Corey's shifty. He might put someone. He might snatch someone's ankles away from him. I could see that happening really early on before the scouting report's really out there. And then, you love sports. Sports Center loves the little underdog rookie make something surprising happen. Like that always has a high percentage chance of getting up there. So I think it's going to be one of those two things. Is that fair?
I think that's super fair. Sorry to cut you off, Robbie.
It's all right. I'm just thinking of a little like Ish Smith crossover in transition and like half court and then all the way to the rim. I could easily see that going.
I mean, those bigger defenders, you got to be bent over to get them too. They're already going to be off balance. I'm all for it.
They're already halfway to the floor.
Right.
You see, the problem there, though, is he's got to finish at the rim afterwards, and we don't have to talk about that.
We're still working on that.
He'll have more spacing. There's more spacing.
That's true. And I'm honestly excited about him. So hopefully it works out. Robbie, what do you think? You want another voicemail, or do you want to do our pre-submitted question from Tads? And of course, guys, if you are listening live here with us on YouTube, throw in any other questions you want to get to, you want us to all talk about into the live chat. We'll pull those up. We'll talk those through as well. And we've got a fun little game as we previewed for the end of this one. So, yeah, Robbie, where do you think we ought to head next?
I like this Tad's question that we got pre-submitted. So let's run with that one.
All right, so from the DBB comments, and I had to split this into two little banners, so if you're watching live, that's why Tad's name is not on this yet. But he said, we're expecting a lot of players to display an offensive skill set that is expanded in skill or scale. Whose growth is the most important? What could that growth look like? Whose growth would be the most of a stretch? And who is most ready for their new opportunities? So, you know, Mickey, Harry, are you guys, do you need a second here? Should we throw this one to Robbie first, or is one of you ready to roll?
I got one.
Dude, Robbie, kick it
Fire
off.
away.
Okay.
There you go.
I think that I've been hyping Asar Thompson up so much this summer that I'm going to try to stay away from Asar on this answer. Yes, Harry. Thank you. So
For our podcast listeners, Harry's got an Asar Thompson jersey behind him on his wall that he just stroked very affectionately.
I keep it clean, though, yeah.
I'm going to go with coming off of Cade's playoff performance and his ability to shoot the three ball. I think he was up at 40%, and I think what was like 7 attempts per game. And I think if Cade can make a jump from his efficiency from the 3-point range, I want to see those attempts go up. I want to see the efficiency go up. And the more that the defense has to get over those Jalen Duren screens to get up on top of him to prevent him from shooting off the dribble, just the more that's going to open up the rest of the offense. So this is taking Cade from, you know, an all NBA player to like a top 3 MVP candidate. I think if he can get those 3-point attempts up, get his 3-point efficiency up, I think that is the most important to me if we are going to get deeper into the postseason. And you know, Cade hasn't, I guess it's still up in the air on whether or not Detroit has, you know, Cade's Robin to his Batman. But I think, you know, if we're going to see further growth into the postseason, I think it's because Cade is carrying us from the 3-point line, that he's made a jump from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and Mickey, real quick here, but let's stay positive on that side for the second, and we'll come and circle back around for maybe who would be more of the stretch. So whose growth in your book is most important to this team's success this upcoming year?
I think it's Ron time. I think he was drafted as an 18-year-old. I think the thinking is for these younger guys, it's really year 3 where they have the breakout. We've talked a lot about just the opportunities that playing in a bench lineup where basically everyone can shoot, depending on who slots where. So I think that's going to open things up for him. It's not just his shot falling. I want to see him attack more. I want to see his handle tighten up a little bit. But Ron taking a leap this year, getting more opportunity, sort of seems like some of the moves that were made were to give him a little runway to do more, let the offense run through him a little more. Depending on who the backup point guard is, whether it's Danis or whether it's Buka, I think it's going to be really interesting to see Ron utilized as more of a weapon. So we've seen flashes with the 3-ball. I want to see the handle shore up a little bit. I want to see the decision-making get a little sharper. But I'm excited about year 3, Ron.
Yeah, how about you?
On our show, our 100th episode, not to plug the free jersey episode too many times, plug it up. But we actually did a chart, like an internal growth predictions chart that was like the need or impact from this player, then the likelihood. And we came with Ron being not only the most like impactful just based on what his position is. Like let's say his shot goes up. Like let's say he shoots like 33, he becomes like a somewhat respectable shooter, or he figures out the handle, or if he just becomes like a more regular scorer. Any of those things happen, awesome, because he's already like an incredible defender, and you have him at a good rate, and now you have backup for Asar Thompson to come up and do a little bit more on the offensive end. Behind him, it was Asar just like a little bit, and like truthfully Danis Jenkins as well, because he, as far as like meter impact, we don't know who the starting two is, right? That's what we've talked about so far. It could be Duncan because he was last year. It could be Danis because he's a ball handler. He can catch and shoot pretty well, and he started in the last game of the playoffs last year. It could be Isaiah Joe, for what anybody knows, because he's such a good shooter. And so, like, there's just no clear-cut case for that. But if Danis shows enough where he can step up and then Ibuka can be your backup point guard with two lights-out shooters, that opens up a lot for everybody. So I'm gonna say Danis here because he's homegrown talent. Essentially, his rookie year last year. I really do think it's Ron or Sar between the two, but I think the importance of a starting two emerging from this group means now you don't have to go out and get a two. You have another ball handler who can be out there. We already know he can play defense. We already know he's super clutch. It's really just a question of consistency and what his role is. So, like, if we can see him improve his consistency, which I don't think is too big an ask, it's right there on the table to improve this team. And, like, I agree with you, Robbie, the Cade Cunningham shot would be great. I actually have him as, like, my lowest impact because he's already so, like, stupendous. Right. But, like, even as you said, it would improve the team so much. And if Ibuka gets even better than he is, Wes, you hinted at his finishing at the rim or his, like, shooting. Like, one thing to point out about all these young guys on this team is there are so many ifs. Like, if this gets a little bit better for all these players, that if only a couple of the ifs happen, that is massive improvement for this team. And I think that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, so talking Danis Jenkins, I want to ask a follow-up question, if you don't mind. So Robbie and I, we had went through kind of an early depth chart, right, just to see how it would look. And ultimately what we had both settled on, Robbie, was that Isaiah Joe probably starts because from our perspective, that was the only player that kind of has a mix of not just the shooting, but the movement shooting that Duncan Robinson would provide. And then maybe some of the ball handling, because he flashed a little bit of the ability to just put the ball on the floor and get to the mid-range at least, which is something that this team needs. So when you're looking at Danis Jenkins, I think the ball handling is obviously unquestioned, right? He's the second best on this team at running the show. That's not saying much because there's really no other point guard, but you still got to give him his flowers there. But he wouldn't bring in that movement shooting aspect of it, and the starting lineup doesn't have a way to recoup that. Would that be something you would be worried about? Do you think he can make that up as being a prolific catch and shoot guy, which he was last season, to his credit? Like, where are you at on this whole kind of debate right now?
Vicky, you want to handle it, or do you want me to get in there first?
Well, I'll dive in. I'm glad you brought up the catch and shoot three because that's really where he shined. It was some of the more off the dribble It was some of the off the dribble stuff that's right. Thank you, Harry.
Shinding.
That's perfect. But it sort of depends on what you value more, whether it's facilitating creation, allowing Cade off ball looks. With Danis, yeah, I think it's that role security. Just having whether he's the backup point guard or whether he's the starting two, I just think having any amount of consistency, to Harry's point, is just going to open up his game a lot more. With the Isaiah Joe starting thing, do you guys think Duncan's going to be on the team come training camp?
I do. And, Robbie, you could jump in, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think both of our mindset was that if you look at the kind of swath of opportunity there at the backup guard and the starting two, he's really the only guy with positional flexibility up to the three. So we almost moved him to the bench by default just because he could actually play off the bench in lineups like that.
And Mickey, to add to that, to your point, I don't think he's going to be on the team for long. And part of me thinks with Isaiah Joe making $11 million, he's younger than Duncan. I think Isaiah Joe is now going to be on the team longer than Duncan is going to be. So part of me is wanting to put Isaiah Joe into the starting lineup because I think Duncan will be gone by February. But yes, to the same point, I think he has, at 6'7", he's kind of the only one. I guess Kevin Huerter maybe he's like 6'6", right? Just somebody out of that 2-3 wing. Duncan is the one that kind of has the most size to play small forward, and so he's kind of by default got placed as the bench small forward because he has the size for it.
I'm all for Duncan playing the small forward because he did it in Miami. Like that's kind of what I thought he was when he got brought over to this team, and I think that's great. And also, if we're talking about the second unit, it's the second unit. Like this dude held up pretty solid defensively in the playoffs. This man held up solid defensively, and he's like one of our weak league defenders. So like him in the second unit, the small forward, miss me with him being a bad defender in that whole region. The reason I'm going to still pump Danis Jenkins over Isaiah Joe when it comes to like the movement shooting, I'm not so worried about it because I think that we had to have Duncan being a movement shooter because it's not like he's got any shake to his bake. You know, like he can dribble. Like if someone closes out on him and get in, he can pass really well. I love Duncan, by the way. I would love for him to be a Piston for the long run. I think he's an incredible player. I've pined over him being on the Pistons for a minute at this point. But just when we talk about Joe and Danis specifically, because Danis can ball handle and because John Collins is now like an actual three-point shooting threat that Tobias Harris kind of wasn't before. And I don't even think he was like guarded as a real three-point threat for the most part. I think that allows the movement shooting to be balanced a little bit. And when it comes to Isaiah Joe, if the question is like, well, do we risk Danis being an okay movement shooter, or do we risk Isaiah Joe's ball handling? I got to point to last year's playoffs with Isaiah Joe, and I know people are really excited about him. I'm skeptical about the ball handling, just the ball handling. I'm excited about it as a player. On the ball handling side specifically, because J-Dub went down, A.J. Mitchell went down. They were down serious ball handlers in Oklahoma City in the playoffs, and guess who didn't play? Isaiah Joe. So when your weakness and your need is ball handling, and you got a guy on the bench who you're not playing, that tells me that maybe that ain't a strength of his all that much. On top of that, him and Danis are the exact same size. They're both skinny dudes. So, like, I don't love quibbling over two dudes who weigh less than I do, and I'm a skinny dude. It's weird. It's all weird. All that also being said, I don't know. Like, whatever JB chooses is the right decision as far as I'm concerned. He's done a great job so far.
So with the Danis starting thing, the one thing I do enjoy about that idea is it immediately opens up minutes for Corey as backup point guard. So I like that idea because if Danis doesn't start, I'm kind of by default putting him as a backup PG where I feel like he's a better off-ball guard that can handle the ball than an on-ball guard that can play off-ball a little bit. But then at that point, and this goes back, I'm thinking back to the episode that Wes and I did, kind of predicting that depth chart. And the only thing that holds me up is that they paid Kevin Huerter $9 million a year. And if a Corey, and then in this scenario, if Danis is starting, a Corey, Isaiah Joe, and Duncan, I think would be, kind of your bench guards at that point. And I think they paid Kevin Huerter to play Kevin Huerter, and maybe that's waiting until February when they move on from Duncan, and then there's kind of more room in the rotation for that to happen. But I find the whole guard room to be fascinating. And for the second part of this question, Harry, I enjoy that you picked Danis because I think I would pick Danis for who would be a reach in growth. For whatever reason, I'm just not super high on him. Part of me thinks they drafted a Corey to be Danis's replacement. And I think based on how this roster is created right now, I think a Corey is going to do things better at the one that Danis can do. And I think there are guys on this roster like Isaiah Joe, Duncan Robinson, maybe Kevin Huerter, who do more shooting guard things other than Danis. So in a weird way, I kind of feel like he is kind of losing his fit, kind of losing his spot on this roster. But he's also a restricted free agent, will be a restricted free agent after this year. That's a great player to have, somebody cheap in your guard room. So the whole guard room going into this season and going into the deadline, I just find fascinating because they could go a multitude of different ways. And I would understand why they picked that starting guy, why the rotation is what it is. But the fact that there's so many different avenues that they can kind of go to, I think is just fascinating.
I want to say one more thing, and one more thing in defense of Danis, real quick. Sorry to start. I'm
I
heavy
will
on the
never
jumping.
stop you from defending Danis Jing. I love that guy's game. So go all in.
I just got to say, you can't teach clutch. You just can't teach clutch. And if you go back and watch his highlights from last year, the amount of clutch buckets is simply ridiculous. I think he has more game-winning shots than Cade Cunningham does in his career already, which is outrageous. There are several players on the Pistons who have these intangibles. Ron Holland's ability to swing momentum in a game with a single play is out of control. The scrappiness from Paul Reed is unbelievable. Players, the freak athleticism from Asar Thompson, these are intangibles that can't be taught, that cannot be developed, that some players have or some don't. And I think it's very important. I love Cade, and I think Cade is incredibly clutch. He showed it last year. But I think Danis' ability to hit these shots in important moments when everything's on the line, when his career's on the line, when the Pistons' win streak's on the line, when the season's on the line, when the playoffs are on the line, is something worth pushing forward and worth developing in the Pistons market.
All right, Mickey, we're going to throw this back to you. But before I do, and I want to hear your most of a stretch player here for their internal development, I do just want to throw out a fun little stat that Kevin Huerter is only accounting for roughly 5% of the cap. All right, Mickey, go ahead.
It's just a nickel. It really is just a nickel. It's a little.
1/20th of what, yeah.
No, I think, Robbie, to your point of Kevin, things open up for Kevin Huerter a little bit if and when we move on from Duncan. That makes a lot of sense to me. I do think Duncan might start still, just because
I could see that.
He's one of the few vets we still have. He earned that spot. He was big for us all last season. And I think also, if we are trying to sort of show him off to potentially move, I think having him start might be a good way to do that. I still think Danis is going to play big minutes. You know, whoever starts, whether it's Joe, Duncan, it's generally a ball handler who closes out games with Cade. So we saw it with Schroeder, we saw it with Danis. So some of this stuff is superficial. But in terms of the improvement that would be the biggest stretch, Wes, you picked me first, so I gotta snatch the low hanging fruit. I gotta say Asar shooting. I don't mean to be mean.
Still holding out hope. No, you are totally safe on that.
I mean, I would love to be wrong. There's nothing I'd like.
Vincent!
I actually, yeah, what are you doing, Freddie?
Ben Wallace. If you just give him some more time, he'll figure out a jump or two one day.
Give him a 10-day. Give him a 10-day. But
there you go.
But no, I think there's still a long way to go. I do think his 3-point percentage has improved every year, but it's on about half of an attempt. He's taking less
every year, I do believe, as well.
And they're all grenades. They're all just absolute bailout bombs. But yeah, I think the hope is, whether it's more handling that allows Cade off-ball minutes or just multiple shooters, improved 3-point shooters in Joe, Collins, Duncan. Hopefully that enables Asar to develop his offense in other ways. Maybe it's the mid-range, maybe it's little distribution, handling a little more, that sort of stuff. I would like to see him. I think I'd like to see him finish more confidently, just because that's such a doable thing for him. I don't mind that he mostly plays down low. I just would like to see him a little more confident. Sometimes on a breakaway, if there's one defender, he's not taking them. And I want to see him just decide, yeah, I got a head full of steam, but you can't guard me.
Mickey, did you see the video, the kind of Cade was playing, Asar was playing, Cam Boozer was the dunk that he just went over Cam Boozer and two-handed it on him? Yeah, I'd like to see, don't go for the layup, just jump higher than everybody, go put the ball in the rim. That would be cool. And because he's so beefy now, just... Oh my God. He's got boulder shoulders like Duren does at this point. So go up there and dunk it.
Do not get us started on
specimen behind door number 1. Specimen behind door number 2.
Yeah, so I'm not.
Oh, go ahead, Mickey. Yeah, get the last word here.
I'm just going to say I'm not holding my breath on the corner stuff.
No, you're not alone. We got a good question here from Pistons fan 11. Harry, we're going to throw this your way first, but Pistons fan 11 asking, do you think they drafted a Corey because a small market team needs to swing big for athleticism and a high ceiling because it's hard to get stars? I'm really interested, actually, in both of your guys' thoughts on this one, because admittedly, Corey is a player. I see a lot of the upside there, but to be completely candid with you guys, this is an archetype of player that I just personally have a soft spot for. I have for years. I really love the small athletic guard who's shifty and gets to the. They're just really fun to watch. So I've got a soft spot for these guys, and I recognize that there aren't a ton of major success stories, especially modern in the league right now. Like, you got Mitchell and Maxey, and off the top of my head, that's about it. I guess maybe Kyrie. So like, where are you guys at, Harry, on a Corey and his upside?
I love to hear that you're down with the We Free Men for all my literary heads out there. But I, as a former We Free man myself, I was very small when I was biggest into basketball. I love the idea of that player. And then as I got taller, not that I'm super tall, now I'm like, essentially, I'm the same height as Corey, right? So I'm not like a big guy, but I'm a big, not basketball player guy for all intents and purposes. But now I don't like those players. I'm not into it. I like the idea of the jumbo for the most part. And when we drafted a Corey, I was devastated. Like I was in a mood. I do want to be clear. I did want Carr. I was big on Carr. Yeah. I really wanted him to trade up for Yax. Yax I thought was like the best fit position timeline. I love as soon as I heard the No Ceilings guys describe him as a 6'10" Dylan Brooks, I was like, that's the guy. That's the guy I want on this team. Mickey and I are both Dylan Brooks apologists, I'd say, for the most part.
Add me to the list.
Yeah, shout out that contract.
Talk about intangibles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like a little nasty. I love being about that action. But I did flip on my Corey perspective within, I think it was like 12 hours, really, that it took to change. And a lot of it is because sometimes you're so set on like, I think this is the way, I know the vision, this is the plan, and if anything deviates from that plan that you have literally no control over, you're like, it's wrong, this is all messed up, they blew it. And I feel that way all the time, but then I come back and I think about it, and I just think that Trajan was thinking about it a little bit differently as opposed to me. Like, he's like, he said it, he's like, we need ball handling. They have ball handling in the draft. They don't have shooting in the draft. So like, as far as the Cam Carr stuff goes, like, take that for what it's worth. Like, the kid can shoot, but like, maybe there's something else. Maybe it's the weight. A lot of people seem to think it's like the weight, but that's neither here nor there. They got another ball handler, which when you're thinking about the Pistons, where they have more of at this point, shooting or ball handling, it's by far shooting. Like, they attack that in free agency like crazy. So I'm happy to have that. And Corey's slick. Like, there's no doubt about it. The dude slithers through bodies like he's Alex Mack. You know what I'm talking about? Like early 90s, turning into goo, going through. Am I a little bit too old for your chat? This is like my chat sort of world.
It makes sense. He's like a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got it. He turns into a puddle and slithers through.
Are you actively sipping a Capri Sun right now, Nikki? Do we need to know? The listener needs to know.
Pacific Cooler, my man, out there.
There you go.
Popping in the straw. Strawberry kiwi, the new one. But like, when I thought about him, and then when I thought about the concept of small guards in general, take a look at the last two drafts. All the guards are teeny tiny. I don't know what it is. They're making them smaller now. They're like iPhones. The screen keeps getting tinier with these kids, and that's fine. Like, it's super fine, because if your competition's small and you already have the biggest, baddest point guard on the planet on your squad, you can take a little stretch and get a little skinny and get a little light as far as the height goes. So if the question was about like, did Trajan have like this whole plan for Corey and it was the right move, I'm down with it. I'm really down with the pick, and I think he made a smart move. I think he got a great basketball player who, again, has these intangibles. The ability to get to the bucket's crazy, and he's the youngest player on this team right now, so let's see that development come up. Was that the question?
Yeah, Mickey, where are you at on this one? Yeah, no, you nailed it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. Mickey, where are you at on this one?
Here it is again.
Yeah, I agree. I think the archetype is actually something that I'm not super excited about. I wanted shooting. But I mean, I think Pistons fan, it was Michael Dompierre, that most will agree that Joe and Duncan are better than Carr in 2025. Yeah, we'll see. I think that Trajan wants guys who are also going to play defense and not get. I mean, I know he's small, but I just think we needed either shooting or distribution, and we got at least one of them. And the fact that Trajan is so high on his ceiling makes me encouraged. I think he said in the presser he will reach his ceiling. So I mean, I do think that points to both Robbie and Harry, your points about maybe Danis does start so that we get some Okori minutes right off the rip. OG named YouTube user reference Rob Dillingham. That's a tough comp.
Admittedly, was not a fan of Rob Dillingham. Draft.
The exception makes the rule, but no, I'm excited about it. While I'm not a huge fan of small guards as a principle, I think my basketball pet peeve is turnovers. It's just the worst, and I think that still remains one of the Pistons' biggest struggles. So I think if Trajan believes in his ceiling in terms of, and also his ability to get to the paint and hopefully stretch, we're going to need that too. I'm with it. I'm with it. I trust that he went out, and I like that he's getting high ceiling guys. Did Modest make more sense in the Ron draft positionally? Maybe, but he believes that Ron has a higher ceiling, and I think this is the year where we are either going to start to see that, or we're going to decide swung and missed. So I like that he's shooting for the moon on these picks. I'm interested to see how it pans out.
Before you introduced our next question of your choosing, Pistons fan 11 said, I would have loved Isaiah Thomas. I can do him one better. Add an extra A to Isaiah. I loved that Isaiah Thomas his rookie year. So that's where I'm at. Like, this is just, if you are aware of that player, then you get it. But
he's got a tag, bro.
That's my guy. I had his jersey.
Mike James was fun for a year there in Toronto. Like, it's just fun scoring guards that are small. I just always love.
Did he go to Eastern? Am I making that up?
No, he went to Eastern. That's partially why he was my guy. I was like, oh my God, he went to school so close to me. He's the same height as me, and I'm the smallest guy in my school. This is incredible.
There's hope. There's hope for me to make it.
There was. He kept that dream alive way too long. He kept that rolling right into Michigan State freshman year.
Wes, do you want to roll with another voicemail?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do Dr. C. I want to hear Dr. C's question.
All right. Well, we will jump on that. This is the interestingly named Dr. C.
Hey, fellas. This is Dr. C. I'm going to just roll with that. Love your show. You guys do a great job. I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on how you guys are actually feeling about the Trajan administration. I guess I'm concerned, not because we haven't made a big splashy move or anything like that, but when I look at what we got out of like the Isaiah Stewart trade, and when I hear about all the big name free agents that we are targeting, I just find myself very unimpressed. I think it was clear it was probably time to trade Stewart, but we could have gotten so much more for him. And when I look at names like Kyrie Irving and Kawhi Leonard as the big names that Trajan was hunting to be that sidekick behind Cade, I'm just like, I'm not really blown away by that. And to be fair, you could say, well, Austin Reeves and Trey Murphy were also in those discussions. That's totally fair. But I don't understand why we're going for some of these guys. Something just isn't making sense about a lot of this to me. That's all I got. I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that. You guys do a great job again. Thanks for taking my call.
I can just picture Dr. C with a mask on, hood up, walking by a flock camera. Dr. C, just go call me Dr. C.
I don't want this guy operating on me. I'm gonna say.
Maybe this is like a math doctor. It doesn't have to be medical. It could be anything, but it could be a dentist. So they might operate too, and that might be a little iffy.
Even scarier. Yeah.
Becky, what do you think? Yeah, Dr. C, MD. What are you a little underwhelmed just with some of the rumored names in the strat? Like, where's our vibe at here with Trajan Langdon?
With Trajan, I am confident, but I'm starting to get a little itchy in my britches. I'm getting a little ready for a move. In terms of just, I don't know. I don't give too much credence to a lot of those rumors because A, they didn't happen, and B, to the illustrious Dr. C's point, we pretty much threw out every name. It was every single name of anyone who remotely fit. I mean, we don't know how far these talks got. We don't know, what was involved or what the cost was. I think it still remains to be seen in terms of the big move that we're really going to judge him by. I will say that someone in the comment mentioned the word optionality. We have a ton of optionality in terms of expiring contracts, movable players. Danis could be very desirable to another team just as part of a package. I know he doesn't make a ton of money and might just be worth keeping him because he's cheap and effective and a dog and all that stuff. But no, I think he's given us a lot of options. I am hoping that a move comes at the deadline. I mean, technically, don't we still have one too many players on our roster? So something's going to have to change before trading camp. I don't think I'd be surprised if suddenly a Trey Murphy move happens, but I don't know. I think he's being patient, and I think he wants to make the right move long term. If he went and traded for Kawhi Leonard, I'd be like, all right, let's talk about that, and we'll judge it there. But just there's so many, like rumors and just little bits of noise that come around. I won't judge him on that. I think, if anything, we're just bordering on maybe a tad too conservative, but hoping that either this trade deadline or this offseason is when we really get the move that we can start to judge him by. So that's sort of where I'm at with it, is confident, but like getting a little impatient. Just because Cade's ready. Cade's clearly ready for some help, so I think he's earned it.
Harry, where are you at with the Trajan front office?
I love the Trajan front office, and not just because he's the smoothest man on the planet.
The Alaskan assassin.
That's right. The former MLB draft pick. This guy is I really like him a lot, and I like how patient and I like how frugal he is for a GM or for a POBO, president of basketball operations. The point that Mickey brought up about like essentially that's every name, like every name you'll hear about a free agent or somebody of interest coming to the Pistons, or was like a rumor about it. I think any GM worth their weight in quarter zips is going to be asking about like whatever available player or whatever potentially available player they might be able to get. You're going to be asking just to know what a price is. Like, oh, how much would it cost to this person? Even if you're not really thinking about getting this person, what would it be like to have this person on the team? What would I have to give up? I get all that. But I think that a lot of times when we think about what's successful or what's a good offseason, I think national analysts are like incredibly guilty of this, and it's pushing a strange narrative to me as far as like the East got so much better. These teams got so much better. I think people really conflate name recognition with actual improvement to a team. I think sometimes, adding a star is great. I don't always think that it works that way. I think it's a team sport, and I think you want to find the right pieces and the right sort of balance on that squad. So I don't know how any of these players would be on the Pistons. I don't know how Kyrie would have been. I think it would have been a pretty good fit a couple years ago. I don't know about this year. And like, where we're at now with like the Isaiah Stewart thing, in his interview when he was talking about like the trade reaction, how he felt, he said that he knew he was going to get traded. Apparently he'd been told he potentially could get traded right at the beginning of the 2023-2024 season. So dating all the way back there, he's been on that whole train. But he said that Trajan contacted him and said, we got this deal with Memphis that we just can't pass up. So for what we're talking about as like, we didn't get much for Stu, I think that's, and I thought we'd get more for Stu too, but I think our view of what the market for a player is isn't necessarily the real market for what a player is. And Mickey and I did like a lot of research into like what it would cost to move up in the first round, what you'd have to give up. And a lot of times you have to give up a first round pick, or you have to give up like a significant player and like a very low end first round pick. The Pistons moved up in the first round. We can't forget that they moved up several spots to get their guy intentionally. So we can say that, and they didn't give up any of those picks because they got him right back. So we can say that they gave up Stu for nothing, but in reality, they gave up Stu for what most teams have given up a first round pick for in previous years. So I think his value actually was like pretty right. If the fit wasn't there for him, then you just take what you can get. It's better than holding on to a player and getting nothing the Troy Weaver way. And that's like the other thing to think about is like, look at the last few GMs that this team's had. This team's been rolling through. I barely watched for the last 20 years because of how like nonsensical all this stuff was, even going back into the Joe Dumars years, man. So am I happy with how it's going? Yeah, he's not overpaying anybody. Everyone's mad at Jalen Duren right now and his agent because they're not just signing this thing. That's good, smart work by Trajan Langdon. He's playing the game the way that he's supposed to play it, like really maneuvering the market well, really looking into his options, really improving in the areas that this team needs to improve. And he brought a team from a 14-win team to a 60-win team with a coach that people did not want to have on this team, with additional players that they did not want to have on this team. I think he's doing a great job, quite honestly.
I have nothing to add because everything that I was going to say, they just said it. So I feel the exact same way, Harry.
My bad. I didn't mean to take it all up.
No.
Harry, you mentioned Jalen Duren. So we did have one more voicemail, but it was a little long. And
it was Jalen Duren.
That would be funny. That would be
stop
funny.
talking shit about my contract?
You probably, honestly.
That's the second. That's fine. My bad, guys.
It's okay.
Well, this was from Mike, and I'm gonna read out Mike's question instead of playing the voicemail. But yeah, look, Dr. C's question was longer. So look, guys, you can't say we didn't experiment with it, but that was 1:30, and that's probably not going to happen again. So the reminder: try to keep it around 45 seconds to a minute. Keep it quick. That way, our star-studded guests here from Order of the Blazing Horse, they can be the ones to go off on their monologue. Doesn't have to be over voicemail. But our guy Mike, he had a great question, and it was essentially, how late's too late for Jalen Duren? Like, how worried is there a possibility that this drags out past even camp? Like, could he be a holdout? Like, is there a moment that we're worried about collectively here that, it just is kind of too late for him to come to a resolution? Harry, what do you think?
I don't want him to miss training camp. I think that'd be a mistake. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't know what else can happen at this point, because he ain't taking the qualifying offer. That would be crazy. Like, that would really be crazy. If he was thinking about taking the qualifying offer, I hope someone else is talking in his ear saying, like, yo, we're talking like nearly 150 million plus guaranteed. You got to take that bread, because there's no guarantee anyone's, even if they have the cap space, will pay you next year, no matter how well you play, just because of what your position is. Like, it's betting on a lot of variables to go your way as opposed to taking some guaranteed bank at this point. There aren't any other moves to take. So, like, I don't know. Like, the only reason I can see this extending is if Trajan and JD's agent are, and I should reframe this. I don't know if this is JD's mindset or if JD's agent's mindset. Like, we really don't know that. We haven't heard JD say anything negative at all, quite frankly, and I would like to keep it that way. Like, his agent should be trying to get him as much money as possible. But the only way I could see this like dragging out is maybe this threat, this like doomsday clock of the qualifying offer, or if they're actually negotiating and there is some, what up, dog? If there is some wiggle room going on with Trajan and JD's agent, where we're maybe getting up a little bit more from that 35 average annual value. If that's happening, then sure, keep going until you get this deal done. That's fine. But if Trajan is like truly saying like, we're not going over this number, this is the number, then too late was 2 weeks ago. Like, just there's no purpose in pushing this forward.
I'll add, if we make it to media day and he still hasn't signed, and then every single question that every single player, like, oh, JD's not here, like, have you talked to him? How, is he? I just feel like all of media day will be about Jalen Duren and his contract, and it will just be a terrible media day for the rest of the team to have to answer those questions about Jalen Duren. So to me, and I think it's like late September, so maybe like a month and a half, or maybe like a month and a half to go until media day. So if he's not signed by then, that's when I'm going to start worrying that, like, okay, this might go longer than I thought it would go at this point.
Yeah, speaking of media, I think all these players are extremely online. I think the Jalen Duren playoff stuff was only amplified by social media, and the last thing he wants is to take the qualifying offer and have the bag fumble allegations all over social media. That would just it would just be really bad, and this thing could snowball. But just to everyone said everything, I just think training camp, just let's wrap this up and not have it bleed into the season, because it's just asking for trouble.
Wes, what about you? Like, where do you think this is going to be too long?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the honest answer, Harry, man. Like, his agent, as he said, is well within his rights to try to get as much as he possibly can for his client. There's really no leverage, though, other than that qualifying offer, as you both have pointed out. So the deadline on that is October 1st. It can be pushed back into March. And now we're talking about a holdout through the vast majority of the season, which I can't imagine either side really wants. And as you've both also brought up, no one really wants to say the actual qualifying offer either. Point is, I don't think until we actually get to camp is there any reason for urgency. So I'm just kind of expecting this to go up to camp, everyone comes back into the building, and then they sit down and pretty quickly after that figure it out. Is that good? I don't know. But I can't imagine. These guys are all pros, right? I mean, this is the business side of things. I would hope that they're all NBA player enough to not let that seep into the other side, the basketball side. But on that, Robbie, I know you got a game here, and guys, I don't even know what this is. He did this all on his own, so I'm as in the dark as both of you as our comment section. So I'm excited for this too. With the last, call it like 15-ish minutes. It's your show. Let's go.
All right. Mickey, you were the one that hosted this game, and Harry and I played. I forget exactly what you called it, but I think it's Who You Talking About Reddit is what you called it. Was that what it was?
That's 100% right. I'm so honored.
We're going to play the Pindown version of this, and it's called Who You Talking About DBB. So I went to the Detroit Bad Boys comments, went through our past couple of articles, saw some comments from, our community, and plucked a bunch of comments out that, could be talking about this player, could be talking about this player. And so you, Wes, and Harry, you three are going to play while I think I have 10 of them. If we get to all 10, we'll see. But all right. Our first one.
I'm just relieved that none of these are coming from game threads, Robbie. That would be dangerous.
I definitely had to do some sorting to make sure that we weren't getting anything too crazy. All right.
Who said the @symbol, the hashtag, the $sign, and percentage Trajan?
Over and over. All right. Our first one is going to be between Ibuka Okori and Ron Holland. So you guys have to guess between these two players what or who this comment is about.
Are we going to go honor system here, all guessing at the same time, or do you want us to go one by one?
We could go one by one, but I guess if you want to play and go opposite of somebody at the end, because I think that's what I did.
I'm here to win.
Yeah. So play to win.
You're gonna win.
Let's go.
I blew a 3-0 lead against Harry last time, and he won 4-3. So all right.
The beauty of this game is that no one's insight is going to make you think any differently. Like, it's 100% on you. There's nothing factual about it. It's just you got to go with
your gut. Vibes, right? You're just going off. You
got to go with your gut. And I
got to play along. Definitely play along.
The chat can definitely play along. So. Remember, between Ibuka Okori and Ron Holland, the comment is, I would like to see a path for him to get a solid 20 to 25 minutes a game to see what he can do. Wes, let's start with you.
Generic.
The beauty of the game.
I mean, let's go Ron. I'm just vibes only. Let's go Ron.
Mickey?
I think it's Okori.
Harry?
I'm going Ron, because if somebody wants 25 minutes of Ibuka Okori, God bless. Just God bless.
Ron Holland. Yeah. So Wes and Harry each have 1 point.
I usually host. I'm not usually playing the game. I'm not as good on the other end here. It's okay. It's okay.
It's early. It's early.
What would it take for 25 minutes of Ibuka Corey?
An injury to Danis Jenkins, maybe.
I don't even think Danis is going to get 25 minutes. I'd have to go either injury or he is, as we've talked about before, Robbie, so surprisingly, unbelievably good that he has to start.
Yeah. His ball handling, him holding onto the ball, not turning it over, has to be better than somebody in front
averaging
of him.
23 points per 36. Like that. Okay, sure.
Sorry, I thought it was going to be Okori just because Ron averaged almost 20 minutes last season. But hey,
he did.
Hey, I'm not the commenter. That's
the beauty of the game, right? It's the beauty of the game. All right, number 2. This one is between Okori and Danis Jenkins. So, is it way too early to call, or it is way too early to call him a core player? We can hope, but it's far more likely that he becomes a replacement level guy than a stud. Harry, let's start with you.
Was this YouTube user in our live comment? Shout out YouTube user.
If he commented in DBB,
I'm giving you a hard time.
I gotta go with the Corey on this. I think it's a Corey.
Mickey?
Can I have you read it real quick one more time, Robbie?
It is way too early to call him a core player. We can hope, but it's far more likely that he becomes a replacement level guy than a stud.
I'll say Danis.
And Wes?
The projections making. I'm trying to logic through it, and I'm imagining like who are we projecting more with? I'll go with a Corey.
It is a Corey.
Wes
and Harry with 2. Mickey with 0 so far. Mickey, it's okay. You host it.
Still early.
You know, you're shaking the rust off here, but yeah, still early.
What's the opposite of beginner's luck?
You can still become a core player in this game, Mickey. A Corey player.
On to number 3. This is going to be between Ron Holland and Jalen Duren. He's the biggest wild card. At times, he looks like the spark that makes the difference in games. Wes, you looked ready to answer, so let's go to you.
You guys got to be a Ron Holland, right?
Harry?
Oh, sorry, Mickey. I'm going JD. Wes, we got to break this tradition of you and me on the same page.
Oh, man.
Because this is so wild. Like, you would think Spark, Ron Holland for sure. We talked about his ability to change the transition game. I'm taking JD because that would be nuts.
Mickey? I'm taking JD too because as a fellow games master, Robbie, I know sometimes you try to get some curveballs going. You try to pick something that sounds like I'm zagging with it. I'm going with Harry. I'm going with my
You gotta be careful with that. You gotta be careful. Now you're playing the host, and so you get in trouble with that.
Watch me go 0 for 3, Wes. Watch me work.
Mickey. It was a fastball, not a curveball. It was Ron Holland.
Yes. Right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Oh, boy.
Your D3 ball acumen.
All right. Wes has 3. Harry has 2. Mickey is doing his best.
I have intangibles.
Yes, you do.
That ruins my argument.
Tobias Harris or Isaiah Stewart? I think losing him could hurt way more than people think. Tobias Harris, Isaiah Stewart. Mickey, you're on the clock first.
Tobias Harris, final answer.
I'm going to go with Tobias Harris. I'm going to stick with that as well.
Wes?
Was this the most generic comment you could have found on either of these players? Like when you picked it, was that the idea?
There were only a few people that left the team, so I was limited. And
look, you read it again.
I think losing him could hurt way more than people think.
Well, you know what? I'm I'm going to phone the chat. I'm going to use a lifeline. Mimpsy through and through thinks that because DBB likes Isaiah Stewart so much, it's going to be him. So I'm going to say Isaiah Stewart.
Wes used his resources wisely. It was indeed Isaiah Stewart.
Oh my
Nobody
God.
is counting that Mickey is 0 for 4, so don't even worry about it at this point. But Wes with 4 straight, Harry with 2, and Mickey is going to get one eventually.
I
we're
legit
getting
thought
there.
that comment was about Mike Muscala 2 years ago.
It might have been this somebody might
I
have
would
said
have gone with
this.
Danilo.
comment.
I think Gallinari maybe had a bigger impact when he left.
The last time we had some stretch 5s on this team.
I feel like the
politely
2023 I feel like the 23-24 Pistons right now. This is not going well.
All right. Asar Thompson or Cade Cunningham. With a consistent 3 ball, he's an absolute menace and an MVP caliber stud.
That's awesome.
This has got to be Cade. This has got to be Cade because
There he goes, Cade. Go ahead.
there's no way. There's no way someone would say that about a star.
Yes, there is. Sorry.
I'm with Mickey. It has to be a star because Cade's already an MVP candidate. So this is someone
my
that's
God.
just. This might have been Robbie actually because they're so high on star.
These were all my
Maybe.
comments. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the. Nick, you were right to be playing the hosts. Clearly, these were all his.
Was I?
This is Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. Can't be there. No, there is no way anyone would have that sort of wistful thinking at this point, right? This is from last year.
This is
I
from
admire your
the
optimism.
past few articles that we've written on DBB.
The past few weeks,
Yes.
someone's like, if a star can just hit 38% from 3, we're almost there.
Shout out my guy,
They're out
OG
there.
unnamed YouTube user, who is also not doing so hot in this,
That's
in this
all right.
round.
That's all right.
Tip of the cap to you, Robbie. Though it's from one gamesman to another. It's humbling. It's very humbling.
It's a definition of consistent. What is consistent in this case?
Right.
It's
I am
tough.
who I am.
What are our scores right now? Wes, you have 4, I think. 4, 3, and almost for
Jalen
Having
Duren.
fun.
Yeah, and having fun.
You don't have to twist the knife. It's just, I get it.
We got a couple more. The next one, Paul Reed or Kevin Herter. This comment says, don't sleep on him. He got buckets when he got the opportunity and held his own defensively. Don't sleep on
That's a
him.
good
He
one.
got buckets when he got the opportunity and held his own defensively. Is this Paul Reed or Kevin Herter? Wes, we'll start with you.
Give me the Red Rocket. Let's go, Kevin Herter.
Mickey nodding his head, saying
Yeah,
also.
I'm going Velvet Cupcake up in here. Let's do it.
Oh man.
Harry?
I'm gonna play different, even though I'm going against my gut. My gut is telling me it's Red Velvet for sure because it almost sounds like they're surprised he got buckets. You cannot be surprised Paul Reed gets buckets at this point. You simply cannot. The man put up 30 last year. I'm gonna go with Paul Reed though because why not? Why not?
Harry ties it up. It is 4-4
All right.
to Mickey down there.
All right. We need to have Mickey going first so that I can just take the field. I'll just take whoever he didn't pick.
Is there a mercy rule in your version, Robbie?
If we can implement one, if we need to.
no.
All right, here we'll do two more. The second to last one is going to be between Javonte Green and Taurean Prince. He's a great option to fill in when guys are out, but I don't think he's part of the regular rotation when everyone is healthy. Javonte Green or Taurean Prince, a great option to fill in when guys are out, but I don't think he's a part of the regular rotation when everyone is healthy. Mickey, you're on the board first.
That's a really tough one. I'm gonna, with hesitance and all sorts of insecurity, say Taurean Prince.
Do we need to have Wes and Harry say it at the same time?
I'll say it. I'll say
go
mine.
ahead, Harry.
I'll say mine. I'm sticking with Torian Prince as well because there's no way anybody saw Javonte Green's baby on the bench and says that man's not part of this rotation on a regular basis. We got to see that baby. Show me more of the baby. Get him out there.
Wes?
I mean, I guess for the game strategy, I should pick Javonte Green. I don't believe it. I think it's Prince, but I'm going to say Green.
Smart move.
Mickey's on the board.
Whoa!
Hey,
Torian Prince. It is Torian Prince. Harry coming back from like a 4-2. I think
Something
you're
like
up
that.
5-4 now. I think you've gotten 3 straight here.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. But I think I was only down. I think I was only down. Well, maybe it was down by 2. But yeah.
I think it's
comeback kid.
5-4-1.
Comeback kid.
I think if that is correct.
Call me Kate Cunningham. My clutchness is going up, baby.
All right, we're gonna do this last one. I do have 2 more if we need it. If we have a tie between Wes and Harry, maybe we'll do one more after that. But this one is between Asar Thompson and Jalen Duren. This might be this is gonna be a hot comment, I think. As much as I'd love it, there's essentially a 0% chance that they would trade him. Between Asar Thompson and Jalen Duren, the comment is, as much as I'd love it, there's essentially a 0% chance they trade him.
There was
Mickey?
definitely a really hot take in that thread of comments that you pulled that from.
Yep. I think it was a heated conversation in the DBB comments.
Well,
Mickey, who do you think?
I appreciate the context clues. I'm sure they're going to do me no good at the rate I'm at. I am going to say Asar because I was thinking Duren just because of the qualifying offer, sign and trade stuff. But I know some people are not high on Asar's long-term fit. I'll just say Asar, but these are really good, Robbie. Kudos to you. These are tough.
Thank you. Learn from the best. Harry, since you have the lead, let's have you go next, and we'll let Wes go at the end.
Can I offer Wes to have the option to pick if you'd like to,
Yeah.
so I don't
If
shape
Wes-
you one way or the
if-
other? If you want the ability to catch up,
He's playing mind games, Wes. Don't fall for it.
or do you think you'll pick? And I'll just pick the exact same one.
This is mind games, though, Harry. Mickey's right. This is mind games because the only shot I have is to go opposite of whatever you pick. So if I pick first and you're like, "That's my answer," I'm screwed no matter what. There's no extra game. So I'm going to you first.
Okay.
I'm just taking the other. I'm just taking whatever you don't.
He's in your head.
I'm taking Jalen Duren.
Yes.
I'm taking Jalen Duren because if you're talking about trading to Asar Thompson right now, what are you talking about, man? Come on.
There's a contingent. There's a group of people. I'm not saying I agree with them, but they're out there and they're vocal, Harry.
Yeah.
Let's get Mickey's second point. I'm going with him. I'll say sorry.
We have a tie game, fellas.
Oh my God!
Let's
Why
go.
are you talking
Asar.
about this in the comments right now, yo?
It was Asar. Yeah.
It's all
As
good.
much
Talk
as
about
I'd
everything.
love it, do you like watching basketball?
I know, that's why
Have
I
you
picked
seen
it.
him play basketball?
Somebody loved to trade Asar. I had to
lost, Harry.
throw that comment in there.
I'm a passionate guy. What can I say? All right.
I love the Harry crash out in front of the Asar jersey. It's good stuff.
Don't trade him.
Get
All
the
right.
clip in.
Let's try to do one
Swirl
more.
source.
This will be our final one, and Wes and Harry will have you pick at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you pick the same, then I don't know what to do after that. But here is our final one about, again, Asar and Duren. He has to somehow become a shooting threat. Between Asar and Duren, the comment is he has to somehow become a shooting threat. First, Mickey, who do you think this is?
JD.
Real quick for the live chat. Sorry, not Mickey. Harry, you and I are tied at 6, right?
I think 5.
5, 6,
5 or 6. One of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
all the fingers are-
5-5-2 right now. 5-5-2.
All right, 5-5-2. So we're tied up top, and Mickey's having a great time there with 2. About to
has
get
to-
his third. I'm sure about it.
Yeah,
He looks
he
great.
has to somehow become a shooting threat. Mickey, you went JD, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wes and Harry, on go. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, go, and then we need your responses.
It was just he has to be a shooting threat? Was there anything else?
Nope. He has to somehow become a shooting threat.
Wait, somehow is in there? That changes everything.
He has to somehow become a shooting threat. So,
okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
JD. Whoa! Different
we
guys.
got a different. All right, here we go. This is for the win.
I'm drum rolling. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we have a victor in playing for the first time. Wes Davenport is our winner. It was about
that somehow was load bearing. I just knew. It was the wish fulfillment.
It was the somehow, right? It was the somehow.
As if it's easier for JD to become a 3, like some sort of.
Yeah, no, that's not happening here. He's at least got the free throw percentage going his way. If you really want to stretch it, it's a stretch.
Being on the other side of this game has made me realize. Sorry to cut you off, Robbie. It's not do you know ball? It's do you know fans? That's really the game. And I got to spend more time on Discord, and I never say that, but
I'm glad, Mickey, though, that you got to play it from the other seat. Now you got to sit on the other side of the desk, and and it was fun sitting on this. So thank you to you guys for introducing us to that game. And I think it was a good time. So
thanks for spreading the love of the game.
Yes,
for petting that dog.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was fun. It was 653.
653.
Okay, so in our comment section here, if you got 6, we tied. If you got 7 or more, you won for everyone. For the non-host game as well, but you beat the host as well, so that's fun. But this was good. This was a lot of fun. That was a good one. I'm on some trivia fire right now, dude.
The Pistons Pulse episode was really good.
That was bumping. That was like such a good time, and also it brought up some stats that I hadn't even considered. I think one of the maybe you posed this question, but who was like the second leader in steals on the team, and it turned out to be Cade Cunningham or something like that. Is that right?
I think that was Amari. Yeah.
That was crazy. Like some of those stats, I was like, this is blowing my mind.
Yeah, that was a really fun episode.
It's the time for trivia. So I'm glad you guys liked it. If you're listeners, I hope you also enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed this. Harry, Mickey, it was great having you on the show. Can you guys let everyone know where they can find your podcasts, other things that you're doing? Drop the jersey giveaway again, just anything that you guys have. Let all our listeners know where they can find you guys.
Yeah, Order of the Blazing Horse on YouTube. We're doing a jersey giveaway. If you are unsubscribed, subscribe. Go to under the live section, our 100th episode. Jersey giveaway is the name of the video. Comment, Mickey and Harry recruited me to the Order. Or if you're already subscribed, have a friend, a family member, a mortal enemy, someone, refer them to the podcast, have them subscribe and give you credit in the comments. You'll be eligible to win the jersey of your choice. And that's all I got. Harry, you got anything else to plug?
We're also on Blue Sky, the only social media platform. We're on Blue Sky, and we're like kind of on Instagram. I'll say that occasionally. If you want to interact with us, either join our show live. We're big into commenting on the commenters on there. Chat is heavily involved in our show, and we also interact heavily with people on Blue Sky. So get on there. Blue Sky is also like a great community for basketball. For what it's worth, like the Pistons community on Blue Sky is awesome. So this is a Blue Sky plug. I'm plugging Blue Sky big here.
Not an ad.
I don't care if they pay me. I want you on there. And then check Mickey at the bowling lanes in the Southern California area, and check me in the disc golf courses in the Metro Detroit area. We'll be around.
Yeah, shout out all the commenters referencing the show and the most recent episode. It was a lot of fun to see love for that. So thank you.
Mickey's still spiraling. Also, if you watch the show, those are bits. They're all bits.
It is jokes. It is jokes.
You guys are just great actors. I think that's what it's. People just believe whatever.
I am underwater, but it's for other reasons. It's
because of how this game went, right?
Yeah, I put a lot of money on this game.
Bet on the results of what you talk about DBB on BetHPR.
Yeah, I am going to leave town right after we wrap.
Fellas, thanks for hanging out with us today. Remember, we take voicemails. We had plenty of them. We would prefer they're 45 seconds or less. So if you could do that, and if you want to hear your voice on the podcast, be sure to call 313-355-2717. Big thank you to Sean Corp, our managing editor over at Detroit Bad Boys, for supporting the show. Shout out to the chat for hanging out, for playing the game with us. Hopefully you got more points than Mickey did. Sorry, Mickey. And we will catch you guys next week, whether on your commute or live with us on YouTube. We cannot wait to talk more Detroit basketball with you. Adios.